Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, August 1st, 2016 Jurupa Unified School District Board Meeting. We will start with roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Here. Here. Thank you. And Mr. Mendez, would you give us the flag salute, please?
Yes. Please follow me in our flag salute. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And we have inspirational comment by Ms. Chard.
I just have a short one. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly. And that's from Marcus Aurelius.
And I'd like to hold a moment of silence for Mr. J. Ishimoto, the Mission Middle School teacher since 2000, who recently passed away, and the board would like to express their condolences to the Ishimoto family and Mission Middle School staff and students. Thank you. All right, next we will move on to recognition and recognize the receipt of the of the California Voya Unsung Heroes Award for Patriot High School. Mr. Dabrowski.
Thank you. Scholarship Management Services has recently notified the district that Dr. Dwayne Mason and Patriot High School have been selected to receive one of the two California Voya Unsung Heroes Awards, and they are now eligible for one of 3 national prizes to be awarded in late September. Schools are judged on innovative methods, creativity, and the ability to positively influence students. What an honor for Patriot High School, its students, and for Dr. Mason, and we offer their congratulations.
Thank you. And next we'll move to public verbal comment. And I don't have any pink cards up here. And seeing no one making movement up here, we will continue on as soon as my, okay. And next we have administrative reports and written communications. First is the California Standards LCAP implementation. Mr. Dabrowski.
Thank you. As it is the week before the starting of school, I wanted to give you a little information about some of the many staff development activities going on. This week on Wednesday and Thursday, we have all of our K-6 teachers engaged in staff development for a day and a half around our new language arts adoption. That will be at 3 schools, West Riverside, Camino Real, and Indian Hills, and teachers will be in classrooms according to their grade level. On Thursday, we have, for those same K-6 teachers in the afternoon, a half-day orientation training at Patriot High School on the NGSS and the rollout of the work of the NGSS committee over the last couple of years. And additionally, we have, for our secondary math teachers, 2 days of statistics staff development taught by Mr. Bob Santiago, a teacher at Rubidoux High School. Also, our new teachers will be in a technology professional development all day tomorrow. And our Units of Study Secondary Math Committee has been working both today and tomorrow, perfecting and finalizing those integrated units. And at the school sites, there are lots of different activities starting to happen. For example, at Tross Street Elementary today, there was a day-long training in inclusion. And later this week on Friday, there'll be a data analysis training and planning meeting at Van Buren Elementary and several other schools, but those are just 2 examples. So lots going on. Our teachers are already hard at work and getting ready for the new year.
Thank you. And then we have item B, the testing schedule and district assessment calendar, which I believe has been pulled for this meeting and will be at our next meeting. Item C is opening of the school year report. Mr. Duchan.
Thank you, President Schmidt, and we are ready.
Good.
We are. I looked at the weather report for next week, and I hope we are ready. It's supposed to hover around 100 degrees, so our students will enjoy hopefully well air-conditioned classrooms. You'll be getting a more detailed list, but I'll give you some highlights. I hope if you have an opportunity, you can drive by Patriot Elementary, Stone Avenue, and Sunny Slope, which have been repainted. And Patriot, it just changes the whole appearance of the school. It just made it's amazing what a coat of paint can do. It just modern, colors are more modern, and the schools all look great. We are ready to open our third DI program at Patriot Elementary. Pacific Avenue Academy of Music is ready to begin with its 2 new music teachers and music curriculum embedded into the elementary curriculum. We are expecting 70 more students right next year. So we hope they'll be here. It's been very hard, as you know, to project the numbers of students over the year. Maintenance was Sunny Slope. Stone Avenue has all new flooring, and our classrooms the school should be, it's like a brand new school. We've done lots of work throughout the district on a number of projects, and Dave took the rest of my report, but our teachers will be well prepared and ready to start with new materials. We will be about 50 to 60% through our deployment on one-to-one. As the school year starts, some of the schools have already been deploying, and you'll get further reports. One of the things you may get asked is, what if they break? And we know they may break. Parents sign a contract, they may purchase insurance and do everything they can to take care of it, but we're much less worried about the breakage than we just want our students to use them and use them well. So we're very excited about that, and I think that's kind of the highlights for the school year, and you'll get more detail and more reports as the year goes on. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have any other administrative reports? All right, thank you. Next we'll move on to the action session to approve routine action items by consent. Items A1 through 29.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please.
Madam President, we have one correction on the agreement page,
All right, thank you.
and that is on the WLC Architects as the vendor on contract number C10010057. That should read Fund Charge Measure EE.
Thank you. So do we have a motion and a second with corrections? Ms. Char and Mr. Garcia? Thank you.
Yes.
Now we'll call for the vote, please. And you may need to refresh. And motion passes 5-0. And item B is to approve the instructional materials for adoption. Mr. Dabrowski.
Thank you. This is for Read 180 Universal System. At the July 18th board meeting, the board approved these materials for review. They are digital subscriptions and teacher print resources. They are to be used in middle school in reading intervention courses for students who are significantly behind in reading progress and require additional intensive instruction and resources. And we recommend you approve the Read 180 Universal System instructional materials for grades 7-8 in the amount of $310,166.
Thank you.
Move for approval.
Have a motion by Mr.
Second.
And a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 5-0. Item C is to adopt resolution number 2017-13, levying special taxes. Mrs. Ford.
Each year, the board is provided with an administrative report for each community facilities district where the district is the lead agency of the CFD. Tonight, Mrs. Rachel Chang Kui with Cooperative Strategies will present a summary of the annual special tax levy for the 15-16 school year.
Thank you, Mrs. Ford. Good evening, members of the board, administration, and audience. My name is Rachel Chen Kui, and I'm from the Cooperative Strategies, formerly the Linker Group. We are your annual special tax levy and administration consultant for the various CFDs. As the board has historically done every year around this time of the year, this is to approve the CFD special tax levy for the upcoming fiscal year. And while you have all the supporting documentation in front of you, I prepare a short presentation. Short is the keyword for tonight, to go over some of the pertinent updates. So, as the board members are aware, local funding generated by the community facility districts, or CFDs, is a very important component in the overall facilities funding program. Pursuant to Melrose Act of 1982, CFDs is a financing mechanism offered to the local developers to help them mitigate this developer fee obligations associated with residential and commercial industrial development. We've seen great success in the district CFD program, and there is a list of, including improvement areas, 15 CFDs formed since 1990. And starting with page 2 here, I will go over the formation date, if bonds have been issued, of those bonds, how much bond proceeds were delivered for school facilities, as well as their development status and upcoming 16-17 annual special tax levy amounts. So, first up, for CFD number 1, Improvement Area 1, that was formed back in April of 1990. This is a fully built out CFD with bonds issued back in 2002. 240 out of 240 units. As you will see on this slide, there will be no special tax levy for the upcoming fiscal year, as the bonds have scheduled to come to final maturity in September of 2016. There will no longer be any principal and interest repayment obligation, therefore no CFD special levy requirement. On slide number 3 is the second improvement area of CFD number 1, also formed on the same date back in April of 1990 with bonds issued in 2002, fully built out with 442 units. Again, same reason as improvement area 1, no CFD special tax bonds come to a maturity in September of this year, no more special tax levy for the upcoming fiscal year. And for these two particular improvement areas, I've been working with Mrs. Ford's office to draft a notification letter that will be sent to individual homeowners within the two improvement areas of CFD number 1 to, 1, notify them that they will not see a special tax levy on the upcoming property tax bill. Additionally, is to thank them for their continued support of the district's facilities. If there are no questions, I will continue to go down the list with CFD number 2, formed back in 1992, also with bonds issued. Another fully built out CFD for the 16-17 fiscal year, roughly $119,000 of special tax levy. For CFD number 3, formed back in 2002 with bonds issued in the same year, 166 units fully developed within the CFD. Special tax levy for the next year, roughly $218,000. CFD number 4, formed back in 2005 with a series of special tax bonds also issued in 2005. This is not a fully built out CFD. As you can see on the aerial map for CFD number 4, there are 2 different areas, and yes, indeed, you can have non-contiguous boundaries for your CFDs. And as you can see on the upper right-hand corner, that's the parcel with development within them. And the lower left-hand corner is the parcel that we have not seen any development so far. And of the 131 units originally plan, 80 of them have been constructed. And those 80 units will contribute roughly $282,000 of special tax levy in 16-17. CFD number 6, this is one that you see 3 different parcels on here, and only one of those in the middle has been developed. That's the Zone 1 of CFD number 6. Formed back in 2006, and this is one that we've waited for a long time to come to a condition in the municipal bond market that it makes sense to issue bonds for Zone 1. So we issued those special tax bonds back in 2014 and then deliver roughly $1 million of construction proceeds for the school district. Currently, 44 out of 236 units have been constructed with $140,000 of special tax levy. On the next slide here, you see CFD number 7, formed back in 2007 with no bonds issue and no developments occur as of yet. CFD number 8 is one of the more recent CFDs that we have formed, that was formed back in April of 2014. We've not issued any bonds, and roughly 39 out of the 300 units have been constructed, $60,000 for the upcoming levy. On the map here, I would like to highlight, you may not see as much development as what we have classified as 39 units. Unfortunately, Google doesn't update their aerial maps as frequently as I want them to, but this is hopefully a good demonstration, visual demonstration to show you what the CFD and development will look like when they get fully developed. Next slide here, CFDs 9 and 10, also formed back in 2014. And we have indeed issued bonds on both of these CFDs. They were developed by Lennar Homes, and we've seen great success with the sale of those 2 developments, and therefore it makes sense for the school district to issue bonds on behalf of these 2 CFDs. And of the CFD bonds, the school district received roughly $5.4 million combined from CFDs 9 and 10. And they're both fully developed with CFD special tax levy proposed for the upcoming year. There are no further questions. I'll move on to the 2 improvement areas for CFD number 11. Those are improvement area A and improvement area B. And we've seen the developments occur in both of these CFD improvement areas. We've issued bonds for improvement area A of CFD number 11, and the school district received roughly $6.6 million of it. I would like to highlight that particular bond proceeds number and to share another success story when it comes to the district CFD program. The school district's mitigation agreement and CFD formation provides that the school district will receive roughly $3.3 million of school mitigation proceeds. Because of the historical low interest rate environment and because of the district's administration and their direction, we have timed the market extremely well in the sense that we were able to secure another $3.2 million of this additional proceeds that goes towards facilities and the new KA school construction. CFD 11 improvement area B, no bonds have been issued and no development. To provide the board with a little more detail, when we say no development, we are referring to no parcels being classified as developed. In order for a parcel to be classified as developed, there are 2 date requirements. One is that a building permit has to be pulled before May of each year. And there also needs to be a parcel map recorded by the county prior to January 1 of that year. For example, for the 16-17 year, we will need a map by the county January 1 this year and a building permit issued before May of this year. While there have been roughly 40 building permits issued, the county did not record a map. Therefore, there is no specific parcel numbers that we can enroll a tax levy for. So for the next year, we're hopeful that we'll see a lot more parcel classified as developed for CFD 11 improvement area B. CFDs 12 and 13 was formed back in 2014 and mid-2015. You must have seen me a lot back in 2014, huh? We formed a lot of CFDs because of the development was really picking up its pace in the Jurupa Valley area. CFD 12, we issued bonds back in 2015, delivering roughly $3.25 million of school construction proceeds. Fully built out, CFD special tax levy for the upcoming year, roughly $421,000. CFD 13 was formed in 2015, and no bonds have been issued, no development in levy as of yet. There have been a lot of permits pulled as of May 2nd of this year. So again, next year we will see additional CFD proceeds coming from the CFD number 13. Last but not the least, our newest CFD, CFD number 15. Formed back in 2015, this is an extension of Lennar's successful project of Harvest Village off of Lemonite. And this one we've seen, although only recently formed back in October, we've seen more than half of the CFDs with building permits issued. We will have $195,000 of special tax levy if approved by the board enroll in the county for the upcoming year. That concludes my presentation for tonight, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, Donna?
Mine's just basic about the CFD law. Is there a law that set up and enumerated and how these may be set up? And I'm asking the question because someone said to me, it just gave me a scare, but I know they must be wrong, that the joint CFDs with water companies and parks districts and school districts, I know that the person in line or the organization in line to administer it receives administrative money for administering the CFD, and then the other agency, the money passes through to them. Is there regulations enumerated in regard to that sort of piggyback routine of having a CFD with multiple districts together?
Yes. So all the underlying legal parameter is described in the Melrose Act, Community Facilities Act of 1982. When it comes to multiple agencies participating in a CFD, that's when we refer to as a joint community facilities agreement. So additional details will also be stipulated in those individual agreements. For example, using CFD number 15 as one of the examples, this is one that the school district is acting as the lead agency, and the Jurupa Community Service District as well as the Jurupa Park and Recreation District are two JCFA partners for the CFD. And the allocation is one that when CFD 15 does issue bonds, they will get the appropriated share from that bond proceeds. And that amount is also estimated in the particular mitigation agreement for CFD number 15. So you do have multiple steps in that process that not only provides the underlying legal parameter, but also some of the checks and balances when it comes to how much each individual agencies are supposed to get allocated from the bond proceeds.
And does your company do that figuring and allocation of the dollars, the bond money? Does it go through your company as a host?
So when it comes to a particular bond issuance, we definitely, as we have always done, to present the school district's best interest, we review those documentations. Those documentation, however, is provided to us by those individual agencies, as they have the expertise in terms of how much water and sewer facilities are needed for a particular project and their associated costs. What we do on a check and balances perspective is that's why we ask them to provide estimates when we form the CFD, so that 2 years from the formation we can hold them accountable. If there has been a significant project scope changes, then we request additional documentation. But then at the same time, we also rely on their expertise for some of those information.
And I have one last item, and I know that we include in the documents I've seen that if we administer a CFD and the money passes through us to another agency, once the money leaves us or is passed through, we don't have liability on how they have spent those funds, whether they spent them properly or improperly. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, and partially, in the sense that when the bonds are issued, And when there are proceeds deposited into individual agencies' funds, for example, Jurupa Unified School District has one, Water Agency and Park District, in the example of CFD 15, would have one too. So there will need to be required fund requisition request to the trustee or fiscal agent holding those money to properly get deposits or reimbursement, disbursement from that particular facility's account. So there is certain oversight that they need to provide that written document. However, if the amount is in accordance with the amount that we estimated or confirmed at the time of bond issuance, there's no specific rules or regulation that allows us or even the lead agency to review those invoices to say.
It's more likely to be how much money they are to receive and all those details, but once it's
Correct.
actually in their hands, it's out of our control, isn't that correct?
Correct. We have no authority over their bond expenditures.
Thank you. Thank you
My
very much.
pleasure.
Any other questions?
I just
Mr.
want to
Garcia.
thank you, Rachel, just for a nice summary and for coming out and speaking to us tonight.
Thank you. My pleasure. It's always nice to see the board, especially in the summertime.
Right, no other questions? Thank you. So now I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2017-13, levying the special taxes.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please. And motion passes 5-0. Item D is to approve personnel matters, and this item relates to my daughter Jessica Schmidt, and based on Ed Code Section 35107, it prohibits a board member from taking any action on personnel matters that uniquely affect a relative of the member. For that reason, and to avoid any conflict or appearance of conflict of interest, I'm recusing myself from the discussion and vote on this item, and will leave the room until after the board consideration and action on this item has been taken. I request that this statement and my recusal be recorded in the official minutes of this meeting, and I pass the meeting over to Mr. Garcia.
Okay. Item D, approve personnel matters. Mr. Brooks.
In accordance with Education Code 44252B, for the following teacher to be employed on a CBEST waiver issued by the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing, it's necessary for the board to give public notice. The following teacher will be employed on a CBEST waiver: Jessica A. Schmidt, elementary teacher, teaches kindergarten at Van Buren Elementary. And administration recommends that the board approve of the teacher being employed on a CBEST waiver and hereby give public notice.
Move for approval?
Have a first by Mr. Ramirez,
Second?
second by Ms. Chard. Any comments or questions? Okay, Ms. Chard?
Will we need to go through this for each one that we do a waiver on, or is this only because she is related to a board member?
This particular type of waiver requires that the board give public notice.
Okay, because we did approve, I wasn't here at the last meeting, but I know that I think we approved it to hire some substitute teachers.
Yes, exactly. And that was a different sort of waiver, but that waiver also requires public notice.
Okay, what is the difference then in the two?
So this particular waiver allows for a teacher who has a credential from another state, and that's true in Ms. Schmidt's case. She has a credential from another state that doesn't require a basic skills test as California does, and so this waiver allows her to continue teaching while she successfully completes that test.
Okay.
Is there a time frame under which she has to complete the required preparation to be certified?
Yes, sir. So she has this school year. and the waiver carries for that period of time.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, call for the vote.
See if it comes back again.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, and we are ready for board member comments and committee reports. We'll start with you, Mr. Mendez.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your daughter being our newest employee in the district. Secondly, I'd really like to, I was very happy to see Dr. Mason recognized for the honor of the California Voya Unsung Heroes Awards. He has made so many contributions to our district during the time that he's been employed here, and he's typically the kind of person that sort of gets overseen in terms of the things that I think he has contributed to this district, and it's wonderful to see this recognition come his way, and I wish him well now that he's eligible for the two national prizes that may be in the offering here in the near future. And then lastly, I'd like to thank Paula for the letter that she sent to the on behalf of the district in regards to the community services that they will not be levied any taxes. I think that's a nice gesture on our part to send them a notice and also thanking them for their support that they've given the district in the past. It's always good to build goodwill in our communities so that when the time comes again for us to ask for their assistance, they'll be there for us. So thank you, Ms. Ford, for doing that.
Thank you. Ms. Chard.
Well, I have just very few because it's a short meeting, and I do want to congratulate Dr. Mason. I've known him for several years, and his contributions to this district, as Mr. Mendez said, have been immense, and he deserves the honors. I also want to thank Rachel for your presentation. It's very easy to understand because I need things simple for me. So, and it's always good to see you, even if it's under another company name. I just wish everyone the last few days of their summer vacation to enjoy it because it'll get hectic. And it already is for some of our staff and our administrators. But just keep in mind that next week there are going to be a lot of kids out on the streets, walking to school, riding buses. We need to make sure that they're all, some of them may not know where they're going, and some of them may leave where they've gone. As experienced in the elementary level, the kindergartners decide they're going to go home, and they go home, or they try to go home. But I think we can a lot of safety and security on that. So just be aware that there are a lot of kids walking still to school. And I hope that we have a good year, not quite so hot as it has been. I know while I was on vacation, it was very hot here. So I'm praying that the weather will tone down a little bit so the kids can enjoy their first week at school. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Mrs. Johnston.
I also want to thank you for the answers to my questions because someone has dogged me on those issues for quite a while, and I knew nothing about it, how that all came out and was distributed. So I do appreciate everything. I see you have a new name. It's a very nice name, and so I thank you for that. Also, I wanted to talk about another issue was July 21st. a couple, who else did, who was the staff and myself and the sheriff department saw the sheriff department training on active shooter. I know this is kind of a gross topic, but I've been reading on the internet a little bit about it being a nationwide agenda, pretty much for major police departments to train for active shooter incidents, and it was good to observe it. We were there to observe it, and I think, you know, we don't want to make this was something that the sheriff department needed to do. It wasn't something the school district needed to do, as I understand it. So we made these facilities available, but it really does make you think. And if you may remember that a coworker of mine was killed in the San Bernardino attack, which is really difficult for me to talk about. But I do think we need to find some place in our planning that we think about these issues, that we make sure that we don't scare staff, but we make them feel confident that they have control over their location. I mean the school office, the people maybe who don't normally get the training, such as classified staff, for example. And I don't know if our administrative staff wanted to think about that a little bit. I know that one of the things is we've got security cameras, we've got a new system when people come on campuses, and but this kind of a situation is really different, and it's really forceful, and it really, I don't know what the answer would be. My friend in San Bernardino, there were special issues. It was a soft target, meaning there was no security. It wasn't a high visibility location in people's minds that would attract an attack like that. It was also an employee who may have had mental issues and other issues. We don't know. But I'm just going to put it out there that I'm also in favor of concealed carry. And the reason, and if we ever would think about that in our district, I think it would be very carefully controlled, that it would be certain people, certain campuses, everybody, they'd be on a special list, they'd be approved and have training at certain periods of time and things like that. But I think it's something we should all be aware of, because it's, I mean, I sure would never have dreamed that this would have happened in so close to us, with people that I worked with, and it could have been anyone. I have a special, actually a best friend here that used that facility in her job, and she worked for San Bernardino County. She previously worked for Riverside County also. So I mean, we should not put our heads in the sand about security, from the very basic things to all the way up to an extreme. And I know a lot of times I think that would be extreme planning, but the proper precautions in security and whatever we could do to make staff and children feel comfortable, I would be okay with. So thank you very much.
Mr. Garcia.
I'd also like to thank our Sheriff's Department for those drills and our RSOs, and I'm confident that they will provide the security that we need. And I didn't get a chance to make it, but I'm glad to see that that there was such a drill. I'd like to offer my condolences to Mr. Ishimoto's family and friends and staff members here in Jurupa. He was way too young. I think he was 48, so just way too young. Dr. Mason, I'd like to congratulate him for his award. He's done a lot of either murals or refurbished some of our Lions Club logos, and his students always contribute to the community, just as Mr. Mendez mentioned. And looking forward to the start of the new school year. Chromebooks, I know Patriot High School has gotten those, and all the kids are excited. I'm excited about it. I know Mr. Lewis is excited. And I think parents will realize, I think in the next couple of weeks or months, that it's really a good thing, and I think it's going to be very helpful for our kids and our teachers. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to wish Dr. Mason congratulations for his Unsung Hero Award. Thank the maintenance staff for all the work that they've done at all the schools to get them up and going. I see Pedley on a daily basis as it's right down the street from me, and just the change of color makes it look like a whole new place. And teaching staff, there's been a lot of training going on throughout the summer, and to all those teachers that took the time to do training, we appreciate that. They're up and ready to go and ready for the Chromebooks and to start teaching the kids on those. Welcome everybody back to school next week, and don't forget about the buses and stopping for the buses. I'm heading to San Bernardino every day when the buses are picking up the kids, and you see a lot of people that don't realize those blinking red lights mean they need to stop and zoom right around. So please be careful out there. Enjoy the last few days of your summer, and we'll see you in a few weeks. We are adjourned.